Associate Professor of International Security, Tokyo International University, and lead convener sa The Manila Dialogue on the South China Sea. And of course, ang Presidente and Chief Executive Officer sa WPS-PH or ginatawag man nga We Protect Our Seas, no? Mangin kaupod naton si Dr. Jeffrey Ordaniel. Dr. Ordaniel, maayong gabi, live ikaw sa Zona Libre. You are with Bombo Jan. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Okay. Una, no, may we know ano ang itong WPS or We Protect Our Seas, sir?
Yes, sir. So yung WPS Foundation is a non-profit, private, and independent research institution that we've established in order to advance principled approaches to dispute management in the South China Sea, in the West Philippine Sea, and the broader Indo-Pacific region. So, isa ini kabag-ong organization based in Manila, and we convene several Track 1.5 and Track 2 dialogues involving government officials, think tank experts, academics from the Philippines and around the region. And so our goal is to promote adherence to international law.
Okay. May we know, paano ninyo sinusundan itong mga development, narratives, issues dito sa may West Philippine Sea, sir?
So actually, we are tracking the discourse, policy discourse, ang mga naratibo nga halin sa mga statements sang aton nga gobyerno, sa gobyerno sang China, sa gobyerno sang mga claimant states like Vietnam, Malaysia, Vietnam, Brunei, and so ginasundan namon sa sa pamamagitan ng pagtingin sa mga words or mga social media posting, mga press releases, mga statements to see if the Philippine position is being weakened and to make sure that the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea and the 2016 Arbitral Award are being followed. So and then based on those observations, we provide recommendations to governments, including the Philippine government.
Okay. Anong nakita nyo, sir? Before sang 2016 nga arbitral tribunal nga ginpagwa nga report, before sini, during sadto, and subong after sang pila ka tuig nga gina-insist sang Pilipinas ang iya nga kinamatarong dira sa West Philippine Sea.
So yung 2016 Arbitral Award is very important, no? Because before the 2016 Arbitral Award, it's China's words against Philippine words. So both the Philippines and China were claiming before 2016 that our claim in the South China Sea, our respective claims in the South China Sea, are in adherence or in accordance with international law. Pero after sa 2016 award, ang aton nga word may ara na sang weight, may bugat na. Why? Because an independent, a competent international tribunal has ruled in favor of the Philippines, stating that the 9-dash line has no basis under international law. So nagbag-o ang tono sang China. Sang una, ang ginahambal sang China, our claim, the 9-dash line, is in accordance with international law and historical facts. So after 2016, ginsulit niya na, ginhimo niya na nga, in accordance with historical facts and international law. So, makita ta dire nga even though gina-deny sang China nga ang 2016 Arbitral Award kuno wala visa or invalid or null and void, we can see na they are affected by it because the international community can no longer just believe what they say because now there is a tribunal that has made a ruling against their position.
But what made China nga mangin more active and maybe nangin mas agresibo dira sa may West Philippine Sea?
So, ang aggressiveness ng China actually, hindi na siya bago.
Mm.
We think nga bago. But the reason why we think nga recent lang sila naging agresibo because of the transparency initiative sang
Okay.
atong nga gobyerno, no?
Aha.
So siguro kilala niyo naman si Commodore J. Tariela
Yes.
sang Philippine Coast Guard. So he is the head of the Philippine Coast Guard West Philippine Sea Transparency Group. So they expose China's coercion in the West Philippine Sea in real time.
Mhm.
Gina-embed nila ang media, independent media, sa ilang mga barko sa pagpatrolya nila sa West Philippine Sea.
Mm.
So, ang ginahambal sang media, hindi lang ya gobyerno, kundi these are journalists who are independent. And these are not just Filipino journalists, but also foreign journalists.
Mm.
So, what they report corroborate the Philippine position. So, gina-report nila, plus ang Philippine Coast Guard ga-release ng mga videos ag mga photos sang Chinese coercion. And so therefore, nakakita na naton kung ano ang ginaubra nila since 1995. So the first time uh, naging aggressive sila sa Philippines in the South China Sea was during the 1995 Mischief Reef crisis.
Mhm.
Right? And then yung kuha nilang Mischief Reef, anong ginubra nila? They said sa una, that was just shelter for fishermen.
Mm.
Right? Tapos in 1996, they built more structures. And then we know that in 2013 to 2016, they reclaimed it. May runway na, may
Mm.
mga missile silos, may mga fighter jets, and all of these things were happening because during those times we did not have the transparency policy. So we only heard about these things from what the government was telling us then. But
Mm.
now we have the transparency policy. And so that's why all of these things are being revealed.
Mm. And lately, kung ano sila ka-aggressive sa West Philippine Sea, daw nag-aamat-amat man sila agresibo, especially sa social media. And hindi lang niya agresibo sa punto nila, pati ang those people nga nagahambal sang information parti sa West Philippine Sea, nangin target man sang ilang nga pagka-agresibo, sir?
Yes, so two things on that.
Mm.
First, even though aggressive sila sang una, they always succeed in creating a false atmosphere of cooperation.
Ah.
So, remember when I said na when they started occupying the Mischief Reef, ang ginahambal nila, nothing to worry.
Mm.
Shelters for fishermen only.
Mm.
Tama niya, nagpate. So, we tried to, okay, so shelter for fishermen lang na. And then in the Scarborough Shoal, na sulit. So, the first time, they blocked our naval patrols in the Scarborough Shoal in 2012. And then nagka-stand off. And then meron silang secret meeting. And it was decided that there should be mutual pull out. Pull out ang Philippines, pull
Mm-mm.
out ang China to de-escalate para hindi magtensyon.
Mm.
Ano ginubra sang Philippines? We withdrew our ships, pero wala nag-withdraw ang China.
Okay.
So in other words,
During the time
kapila-
ni President Aquino, no?
yes.
Okay.
So we believe them again. And so all of these things are happening because they succeed in creating that impression that they are willing to compromise, that they're willing to de-escalate. And so this transparency policy is actually disrupting their strategy. That's what we call salami slicing strategy. Ang amat-amat nga pag slice hasta nga makuha na nila ang bilog nga West Philippine Sea. And the transparency policy is exposing them so hindi sila makaporma because the media are there, the Philippine Coast Guard is always there. So every time nga may ara sila obrahon, they get exposed. So this transparency policy is very effective, and so that's why their target is Commodore J. Tariela. They're targeting him because he is relentless in exposing their bad behavior at sea. So so if you notice ang recent statements ng Chinese embassy, they want the Philippine government to reprimand Tariela because allegedly Commodore J. Tariela is destroying Philippine-China relations. So if they can get rid of J. Tariela, then this transparency policy will stop. And who knows kung ano na ang ilaobrahon to nga hindi na naton makita.
Hmm. Iklaruhon ko lang, sir, ang ginamention mo kaina is salami slicing policy.
Yes,
Okay.
strategies ng China.
Amat-amat, hasta nga makuha na nila ang dako.
Mhm.
Okay. So, na-mention naton nga may mga gina-target sila nga mga tao nga very vocal about sa sining nagakalanabo nga ini. How about ining mga opisyal naton mismo nga very vocal man of siling nila hindi man kuno defending China but sounds like defending sa kausa sang China. You think may ara man ini sang labot ang China mismo diri sa ila, or maybe we have to reconsider ang stand sining mga tao nga naga-question sa panindugan sang Pilipinas sa West Philippine Sea?
So, Bumbo dyan, I think it's very obvious na ang China may ara sang ginatawag nga malign influence operation in the Philippines. So may ara sila gina-target nga mga politiko nga pwede nila mako-op. No? So ako wala ko ga-akusar kung sino man ang gina-co-op nila, but there are political leaders nga sa tingin nila they can influence to weaken Philippine positions and to divide the Filipino people.
Mm.
So they're very strategic targeting these people nga pwede makahambal sa mga tinaga that can sort of weaken our Philippine position. So for example, recently may ginhambal ang isa ka senador nga wala kuno coordinate ang Philippine Exclusive Economic Zone in the West Philippine Sea. That is inaccurate. May ara coordinate, very clear. May ara kita ginatawag ng Philippine Baseline Law from which every maritime zone is measured from. Very specific. Ang aton nga baseline, from there, gina-measure nato ng aton nga territorial sea 12 nautical miles, 200 nautical mile EEZ and continental shelf, and extended continental shelf. So, on record, under Philippine law, signed by Philippine President Marcos in November 2024, so that is fake news nga ginahambal nga wala. Ang wala coordinate ang 9-dash line.
Ti kinahanglan ta pa kuno mag-submit sang mapa didto sa ila sa international community para kilalahon nga ina aton kay hindi mo man kuno makita ang ngalan nga West Philippine Sea sa mapa.
That is, kung ang pagtawag, ang pagpangalan sa mga bodies of water surrounding or within the jurisdiction of a country is a sovereign right of any country. So for example, if gusto naton tawagon ang aton nga EEZ sa South China Sea, West Philippine Sea, that's our prerogative and that is allowed under international law. For example, the Vietnamese, ano ang tawag nila sa South China Sea? East Sea. Kaya nga, east sa ilang. So, ano ang tawag sang mga South Koreans sa East China Sea? Ang tawag nila South Sea because ara siya sa south ng Korean Peninsula. So it's their prerogative and we are not alone in doing that. So each country they have they have their own preference about how they call their sea. And so that is not illegal and we don't have to submit that because that's our domestic issue. We are not telling the world to call the South China Sea West Philippine Sea.
May mga nagasiling man nga mga officials kita nga tingaa nga awayon tagid ang China nga pwede man naton nga mangin friend, partner ang China.
So nagapamatuod nga successful to a certain degree ang ginatawag nga malign influence operations ang China because ang psychology naton nagalain. So, kita na ang Philippines na ang gina-coerce in the South China Sea, in the West Philippine Sea, pero kita pa ang parang ginapanumdum pa nga kita ang nagapangaway. How so? Are we claiming China's EEZ? No. Are we trying to ram Chinese vessels? No. It's the Chinese vessels are ramming our vessels. Chinese Coast Guard is preventing Filipino fishermen from fishing in the Philippines Exclusive Economic Zone. So nga panumdumon sang mga iban nga kita ang gapangaway. Right? So we are only defending what is ours. So if you defend what is yours, Nga, why is that pangaway?
Mm. May mga ideas man, no, nga nagasiling this is not about Philippines and China but China and the US. Nga kita
Yes.
biktima gid lamang kita na naigo lang gid kita iya nga kita ang ari diri. But the
Mhm.
real kuno nga kausa why ginapakig-away naton ang West Philippine Sea kag ginakontra naton ang China is because of the US.
So that's again another narrative that the Chinese want us to believe, right?
Mm.
Because the fact of the matter is, the dispute in the West Philippine Sea is something that is between the Philippines and China. Why is the United States involved? Is the United States telling us to ram Chinese vessels? No. The United States is actually out of this. If we get to fish in our own exclusive economic zone, how does that benefit the United States? Right? Wala man da sila mga mangingisda. May mga
Mm.
American fishing vessels da.
Mm.
Wala.
Mm.
All Filipinos nga ah, prevent sang China nga mangisda dira kag magkuha sang oil and gas resources. So the United States has nothing to do with this. So that is a malign influence operation. Gusto nila nga panumdumon that that is because of the United States. Think about it. During the Duterte administration, the first time nga natabo nga gin laser gin water cannon kag gin laser pointer ang
Mm.
aton nga mga Philippine Coast Guard vessels there.
Mm.
Duterte was anti-US. Correct? So,
Mm.
at that time, friendly kita sa China, nga ginahimo na nila sa aton sa una.
Mm.
So, in other words, that argument does not stand scrutiny because the United States, in fact, is simply calling for the rule of law to prevail. For example, the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea to be respected in the South China Sea. So
Mm.
that is also our position. So we are aligned on on that issue. That does not mean we are aligned with the United States on every issue, but we are aligned on that issue. So
Mm.
therefore, no, it's the U.S., it's China and the Philippines that have a dispute over the South China Sea. And that dispute actually is very narrow if you try to look at the arbitral award. Pero
Oo.
ginapadako sang China because of the nine dash line.
Oo. Ano ang imo or ang inyo nga paglantaw sa WPS sa
Mhm.
mangin future sang aton nga pakig-away or let's say claim naton dira sa West Philippine Sea, sir?
So, very critical ang 2026 because we are hosting ASEAN, right?
Mm.
And gina-negotiate nila subong ang Code of Conduct. So, ang Code of Conduct, since 1997 pa na nga idea.
Mm.
So, nga hindi na siya matapos. Because of several things. China, for example, is not uh, interested in having a code of conduct that limits its movements. Nga hindi siya, kung may code of conduct na, ibig sabihin, hindi na siya makaobra sang ginaobra sa subong.
Mm.
So therefore, very critical that the Philippines shows leadership and make sure that the code of conduct is in accordance with international law. And it has to be binding. Otherwise, wala, pulos. So, and I'm very pessimistic, by the way. I don't think that a code of conduct is going to be completed under Philippine chairship.
Mm. Okay. Sir, anong nakita nimo with this very aggressive campaign not only sa mga officials naton, not only sa mga kilala nga mga tao but even sa social media, no? Wow, they have vloggers, they have the support of these people
Mhm.
nga nagapakamalaot sang aton nga stand and sang aton nga mga pagpakigbato dira sa West Philippine Sea kag nagapahagan-hagan sang aton nga stand sa West Philippine Sea. Anong paglantaw nimo sina diri? What will be the effect of this sa mga netizens, sa mga Filipinos?
Ang effect sila is maka-divide gid na sa Philippines because may mga pseudo experts kita nga ginatawag nga prop up sang China in the
Mm.
Philippines. So
Mm.
sila ini ang mga wala expertise in international law pero ginahambal nila nga wala basis ang Philippine claim or mas strong ang Chinese claim. So
Mm.
hindi ko na ako magpangalan sa ila pero damo na sila sa Facebook kag sa social media ang pakuno-kuno nga may expertise
Mm.
in international law, the law of the sea. And so it's important that the academics in the Philippines are countering these false narratives, these disinformation efforts. And
Mm.
also for the Philippines to continue its transparency policy para maskin ano pa ang ihambal sa mga pseudo-experts kag sa mga propagandista, hindi na magpati-pati masyado ang mga Filipinos because they see the truth, they see the facts.
Mm.
So for example, para sa mga mga listeners mo, kung gusto nila isang authoritative voice when it comes to the South China Sea, they should listen to Justice Antonio Carpio, for example.
Mm.
Nga ginahambal gid niya specifically kung ano ang mga laws na naga-defend or strengthen sang Philippine position kag naga-declare sang Chinese claim as illegal.
Mm.
And so they have to be very careful about who they listen to.
Oo. Bisan pa gani sina sir, may nagakontra pa gani sa kay Justice sa Carpio nga hindi kuno eksperto sa mga kaangay sini. May nagaguba pa gani sa iya eh.
Mhm. So, ang target sang mga propagandista because it's easier for them to destroy the person rather than the message because the message is very strong.
Mm.
The message is based on the law of the sea convention. So they can't easily destroy the message.
Mm.
But if they try to destroy the person, discredit the person, then maybe mag-doubt ang mga tao. So
Oo.
that's why we really have to push back against these disinformation campaigns.
Mm. And I'm sure bisan sa inyo gani guro sa WPS may mga naga-kontra man, not only kontra ha, may naga-bully man gani guro sa inyo da with this stand ninyo sa West Philippine Sea.
Yes. So ang mga kaupod naton sa WPS kag sa kausa sang West Philippine Sea, they are being branded as lapdogs of the US,
Mhm.
as pro-US or bayaran ng US.
Mm.
When in fact, these people are simply defending what is rightfully Philippine jurisdiction.
Mm.
So I hope the people can see through all of these efforts.
Okay. Sir, do you have any message sa aton nga mga kauturan, mga nagapamati sa aton sa radyo, nagalantaw sa aton via Facebook Live sang Bombo Radio Iloilo, sa sining nagakalanabo karon and the latest nga mga development sa West Philippine Sea, Dr. Jeffrey Ordaniel. Sir, thank you.
Yes, ang message ko lang is that we have to be very discerning. When we try to read the news and the information, we should trust sources that are credible, with credentials, and dapat hindi gidna sila magpati-pati sa mga propagandista lamang, lalo na sa mga nagapakuno-kuno nga eksperto. Madali mo lang na maspat ang mga nagapakuno-kuno nga eksperto, kay una, wala na sila siguro masters or PhD sa isa ka reputable institution, kag pangadua siguro nag-eskwela na sila sa China or dito sila based sa China. So damo na sila nga dito in fact nag-eskwela sa Beijing. So i-mention ko na ang isa sa ila si Sas Rogando Sasot kag si Balindog Uy. So these are, I think, in my view, personal opinion, wala expertise, but they try to portray themselves as experts of the law of the sea or international law, or even geopolitics.
Oo. Pa-istoryahon mo, grabe ka mga eksperto, no?
Pero wala man background.
Oo. Ano man, ang iban sini sa ila, I know siguro copy-paste man lang guro ng ginaobra sang iban. And then ang iban naman iya nga mga pero kung basahon mo perti man ang mga sinulatan, anong imo nga paglantaw sa diri may script bala ini nga ginasunod or paano man?
May ara. So ang Law of the Sea Convention is a very complex issue, obviously. The maritime dispute in the South China Sea is very complex. Hindi siya basta-basta maintindihan kung ano bala ang 200 nautical mile exclusive economic zone. Ano bala ang 12 nautical mile territorial sea. Nga ang China, sobra-sobra ang iya ginakuna. These things are very difficult to understand if you do not study the Law of the Sea Convention. And because of that, because very complex ang issue, ginamodel pa nila para ma-confuse ang mga tao kag madali nila ma-push ang ilang mga propaganda nga sala-sala. So, it's very difficult. For example, hambal nila, ang China wala man nag-participate sa arbitral court.
Mm.
Wala nag-participate sa court hearing nga binding sa China. So, kung ikaw, ordinaryo kang tao, no, under international law, dapat may consent ang both sides.
Mm.
So, amo na, ginab-model nila. When in fact, if you look at the law, China has provided its consent when it ratified the Law of the Sea Convention. So, in other words, binding on the part of China, because when you ratify a convention, you ratify it in its entirety, including the compulsory jurisdiction or compulsory arbitration. And the Law of the Sea Convention also stated that you do not, or absence in the court proceeding stops the process.
Mm.
So in other words, the process continued in accordance with UNCLOS, and it's binding on China because China gave its consent in advance when it ratified the convention in 1996.
Okay. Sir, idugang ko na lang because amo gini ang pinaka-common subong. Sagid nyo kaaway ang China. What if bombahon kita sang China? What if ang mga Filipinos halin dito sa China, mga overseas Filipino workers naton papaulion diri, may trabaho kamo nga ihatag sa ila, makabato kamo sa China, ang mga kaangay sina nga klase sang argumento.
So amo na ang mga argumento nga, so kung panamdaman mo ang ina nga argumento, wala na nag-argue kung sino ang right or wrong. Ang gina-argue lang nila nga magkagera. So ang gusto nila is a defeatist foreign policy. Ang foreign policy nga mag-surrender na lang kita kay wala kita sang may bato kung magyera. First of all, hindi magyera. Because ginapagbato nato ng aton nga rights. Wala man naton sila ginabombahan, wala man naton sila gina water cannon. So pangalawa, we tend to forget our history, right? We resisted the Spaniards, we resisted the Americans, we resisted the Japanese, right? So kung paano mo may meme nga nagalapta subong sa Facebook nga ang aton nga ang tatlo ka babae nga nagtahi sang flag nato, Philippine flag, right? So habang ginatahi nila, kung nagpanumdom sila, ay unta-unta na lang ni kay wala man tayo bato sa mga Espanyol.
Yes.
So wala, di ba? So in other words, we tend to forget our history. We are not, we do not easily give up. We do not surrender, especially our rights. And our rights are supported by international law. So all the more that we should fight for these things in a manner that is principled.
Siling nila kuno may isa ka congressman nagsiling imbis nga amuhon tani ang China dalon ta abis diplomasiya be. Istoryahon ta sila, tanan-tanan nga kung ano da, pwede ay hanina? You think
Pwede.
posible?
Posible. And we have been doing that. We have been doing that since 1995. So in 1995, wala anong ginobra nila, ginkuha nilang mischief free. So ano ginobra ta? Nag-negotiate kita sa ila bilaterally. So pila na katuig ang negotiation naton? 30 years. Right? Since 1995. So sa kadamo-damo nga panahon na nag-negotiate, wala man ta may na pala. We should continue to negotiate, but at the same time, dapat ang negotiation natin grounded on facts and grounded on China's record. Hindi na kita painto, in other words. Gininto na kita once, twice, so gilang ta painto nga painto. Hindi pwede. Kailangan, we hold them accountable. You said these things, you should follow through. Nag-commit ka nga amuning obrahon mo, tapos wala mo ginobra. Tapos sa sunod nga negosasyon, mapati na naman kita kung ano ihambal nila. Dapat we should change our tactic and really, or our strategy, and really hold them accountable. Trust but verify, in other words.
Okay. Sir, salamat gid sa sining oras kag pag-share mo sang information diri sa amon sa Bombo Radio Iloilo, Dr. Jeffrey Ordaniel. Salamat. Siguro sa sunod nga mga inadlaw makapakigangot naman kita sa imo because sang ka-init, tensyonado nga sitwasyon dira sa may West Philippine Sea. And we need to inform ang aton mga listeners, participants na diri and viewers. Thank you again.
Thank you, sir.